No, I haven't spoken in person with him, to be fair. Not like one-to-one. But as a player, when you're on the bench, especially a young lad like me, you've just got to be patient. You've just got to believe in whatever the manager's got to say, because he's the one in charge, of course. And obviously, being a great manager he is, you've just got to trust. And just trust the process. I think at Leeds especially, it's a non-negotiable to work hard. I think once you're on that pitch, once you've got that shirt on, you've got to leave everything on the pitch. You can't come off the pitch thinking, oh, I've only gave 75% there. You've got to leave everything on the pitch. You've got to work your hardest for your team, for yourself, to try and obviously win a game. And I think it fits into the style of football we play as well, to be fair, man for man. So if you're fitter than your opponents and you work harder, then likelihood is you're going to have a better chance of winning. Obviously, if we're winning all our 1v1s in and around the pitch. So, yeah, I think it is drilled into us. But yeah, it's definitely non-negotiable. At Leeds, it's great the way the 23s sometimes train with the first team most days. So you're always at exposure to the manager and all the first team staff, and obviously you can learn a lot of things off the players. It's the lads are obviously a lot older, a lot bigger, a lot stronger. So the physicality and the fitness is a bit of a difference. But that's probably the most that you notice, the physicality, and because everyone's quality on the ball, technically everyone's great. It's just the physicality, I'd probably say. Personally, I'm a player who likes to get on the ball, just drop low, get on the ball, and try and dribble past the player. But I think with the managers told me is I need to add more in behind runs to my game, short, sharp, and more sprints. And I understand that myself. So when he's told me that, I've tried to take it on board as much as I can, and I've tried to implement them into my game, them type of stuff. As you say, he's a great manager with youth players, so everything he says you've got to take on board, and you've got to try and add it to your game. I don't think there's a certain individual who I look up to. I think all the lads this season, coming up from the Championship into the Premier League, doing what they're doing this season's amazing. It's great how well they've done all year, every single one of them. So I think as a group of under-23s, we look up to them as a whole team, because it's not a team of individuals. It's a teamwork, a very, very together team on and off the pitch. So I think when you look up to the first team, you look as a squad rather than individuals. But if I was to pick one individual, obviously being in my position, it'd be Pat. Obviously he's had an amazing season, scoring so many goals, and I think what people sometimes don't realise is the work rate that he's got as well, how hard he works, how much he runs to get the ball back for the team so we can go on an attack. Yeah, of course, as I say, his work rate and his ability to score goals is something to look up to straight away, and it's a motivation for yourself to try and ask yourself, could I do that? Could I try and implement some of my stuff that I haven't got in my game that he has? So you look at, you're watching him, I'm watching him in a first team game, I'm always watching Pat the most, thinking where can I improve my game to obviously try and get in the squad a bit more, try and get in a few minutes. So I'm always watching him as a motivation, because of how successful he's been this season, scoring goals, and obviously, as I say, his work rate as well. I think for me, I was playing in the Championship, but most of the time I was coming off the bench, playing 10 minutes here and there. So I spoke with my agent and Leeds when I first joined, and obviously they set a plan out for me. And I spoke to my agent that being with the 23s and getting much regular minutes wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world for me, because at Wigan I was sort of playing limbo with not playing 23s because I might be needed for the first team, and then coming on for 10 minutes, and I weren't really getting much match minutes, match fitness. But as I say, I spoke with my agent, spoke with the club, and that was the plan, to start with the 23s and hopefully then try and prove myself to get into the first team. Obviously we signed, I was new in the summer, we signed a few new lads, so I think it was always going to take a while to get used to how each other play. And the first game of the season we obviously got beat 4-0 by Stoke, and that was an eye-opener to come on now lads, you know what I mean, we've got to do a lot better than that. So I think once we got to know each other on and off the pitch, off-the-field relationships help when you're on it. So the more you get close to someone, the more you'll run that extra yard for them. And then I think it was like December time, just before Christmas. I think that's when we were top of the league, and we were thinking, actually, we can win this league. And it has been an aim since then for me to obviously win the league whilst being in with the first team as well. Because if you travel with the first team and you're on the bench and you don't get minutes, then you're always available for the 23s game. So that's another good thing. Like, you can be involved in both, sort of thing. It's not just one or the other. At different clubs, maybe if the 23s train at a different complex to the first team, then it can be a bit more difficult to focus on both at the same time. But as I say, with this training facility and the chance we get to train with the first team every day, I think you can do a bit of both. You can, if you're selected for the 23s team, you're going to give your all, and your goal is going to be to get minutes for them. And then through the week, once you're training, you're trying to impress the manager and the first team staff as well. So, as I say, it's just a combination of both. Yeah, I think that's normal in football. I think there's only 11 shirts at the end of the day, and everyone's got to fight for the place. But I think that's just normal. I think in football that is normal. Challenge myself against the top opposition under 23s, and then hopefully get in the squad, get a few more minutes in with the first team. Hopefully. No, not too much. I've seen a few. My mum sometimes sends me them on Twitter, and I'm like, I don't like seeing it. Just, can you stop sending me? Not to send them anymore. But she sent me a few. I don't look on social media and like stuff like that to just like search for stuff, if you know what I mean. I always speak to the lads about it. When I was at Wigan, we came and played at Elland Road, and I was on the bench, and Wigan were 1-0 up, but Leeds were like really on top, and the place was rocking. That's something I'd like to experience. Obviously, being a Leeds player now, but as a Leeds player as well.